Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I want to talk to you guys about just something I thought about recently when it comes down to dollar cost averaging. Um, I've mentioned this in previous videos that when I first started trading, I was trading stocks for years. And as a stock trader, dollar cost averaging makes sense normally because you have a longer time horizon. So with stocks, the only way you really lose all of your money with stocks if you're not using leverage is if the stock goes to zero, which doesn't happen that often. I will say though, there has been a time where I got burned dollar cost averaging on stocks, and I want to say it was Fitbit stock. I might have bought it around $8 a share initially, and then it went down to like five, and then I doubled my position at $5, and I think my new cost basis was like $6 or $7, and instead of it going up from five to six or seven, it went down from five to like three, and it actually never went back up. I sold the position eventually when it was at three for a long time, and then they got acquired by Google for like maybe $4 or something. But that I say that to say like there's no strategy that works all the time every time, even with the long time horizon. Like in that example, I the stock went down like significantly, and I thought, oh great, like I get to buy back in at a better price. So when it goes back up, I'll make more money and I'll have a better cost basis and it'll be great. And that in that example, that never happened. It actually just kept on going down. I doubled my position, and it went down further, and I lost more money. So like as a futures trader, I think sometimes I see like this kind of psychology in my own trading where it's like, oh, like if I bought something at like let's say oil at 76 for one contract, 1,000 barrels, um, if it goes from 76 to 75, your brain's like, oh wow, like if you thought it was a good deal at 76, it's a better deal at 75, and then you buy a second contract. So the idea is like if you buy at 76 and it goes all the way down to 75, and then you double your position at 75 from one contract to two contracts, now your break even is 75.50. And that sounds like, oh wow, like I got a deal, like I got a better price on my position. I'm scaling in. um, I would say if that's your strategy going into it, make sure you know that beforehand. Don't wait till the market moves against you to decide, yeah, I'm gonna double down. Because what you're effectively doing is you're doubling your risk, right? So from 76 to 75, you'll lose $1,000. But if you double your position here and it goes from 76 to 74, instead of you losing an extra $1,000, you're gonna actually be down total of $3,000. So instead of being down $2,000 from 76 to 74, you're actually gonna be down a full 3,000 because you doubled your position at 75. So like there's a trade off, right? Like you're getting a better price, but you are doubling your risk. I made a chart recently in Excel for like one of my strategies on passing an account, and I realized you can actually get the same outcome if you approach it differently, right? So let's say I bought at 76, and I told myself, okay, if it goes from 76 to 75.50, I'm gonna sell the contract. I'm gonna stop out the position, sell the contract. But if it goes back to 75 exactly, then I'll buy the position back again. Well, if it goes from 75 to 75.50, I'm back at break even. Like I didn't lose anything, right? Except for the commissions. And this is one way I feel you can achieve the same outcome of dollar cost averaging without having to increase your risk by increasing your position size. And one reason why I think this is particularly risky is you made a trade and the trade moved against you. And as the trade moves against you, you're saying the market is wrong and I'm right. And to prove that, I'm going to double my risk. Um, uh, you know, Doing it sounds smart in the moment, but if you look at data over time on my own trades, I dollar cost averaging does not work out for me. Like in fact, I'd say most accounts I've ever blown up was some level of trying to dollar cost average. So once you just realize that, okay, it's like okay, you know what? Yeah, maybe I shouldn't dollar cost average with futures at least. Maybe with stocks or S&P or whatever. But I don't like dollar cost averaging anymore. It just it works every now and then, but it trains your brain to think, well, it could work sometimes. But you're just increasing your risk on a position that you're wrong on. Like, if you're wrong on a position, why would you increase size on that position? So, that's kind of me talking to myself about like why did I used to think that was the way for so long. So the risk there is like, let's say I bought at 76. I bought a single contract at 76, and then it goes to 75.50, and I stop out of it in order to try to buy it back at 75. But instead of it going to 75, it just rallies back up, and all the money I lost when I closed the position out, I would have gained it back. That's a risk, right? That's the risk you take by stopping out of a position. I think one way I look at approaching this is, if you trade with like 2 contracts, stopping out of one of them, and then buying back the other one lower. But the difference is, instead of you having a cost basis with this example of 75.50 with 2 contracts, or with 1 contract, if you keep 1 contract open and it goes down, a full $1 on the cost of a barrel of oil, and you buy back a second contract at 75, your break even is no longer going to be 75.50. In fact, now it's going to be 75.75, right? Because the 1 contract that you didn't close went down from 76 down to 75, so you're down $1,000 right there. And then the contract that you stopped out of went down from 76 to 75.50, which is $500. So you're down $1,500 when you buy back the second position. So to make $1,500 on 2 contracts, it has to go up 75 cents per contract. And so your break even is going to be basically 75.75. And it's always a trade-off, right? Like, you're either gonna, it's your call. For me, there's ways to play with it to make the numbers different than the example I gave. It's just to make it simple to explain to you guys. But I just think this is a more interesting way to get a better cost than to dollar cost average, like double down. Unless your plan going in was to double down. Like, let's say you don't know where it's going to go, and you're like, you know what, I have enough drawdown to where I can increase my size as it goes against me to get a better price. Like, that could work, right? But specifically for me, in my experience, when I'm in a position and it's moving against me, and I start increasing my size, and it continues to go against me, all that really happens is sooner or later I blow up really quick. And, I kick myself, like, why did I do that? So I hope this video kind of gave you guys an interesting way to, think about risk and managing it. This is something that I've been doing recently. Once I made a chart to, realize, wait a second, increasing risk is really risky. Increasing my position size when a trade's moving against me is pretty risky. I think doing it this way, for me, it gives me a little bit of an edge, where I feel like if I can buy 2 contracts at 76 and it goes, $1 against me, instead of losing $2,000, I'll lose $1,500, right? But if it goes up $1, then I'll make $2,000. I think over time, I think it'll pay off, right? But that's just my experience. It's how I do it. I'd love to hear, how you guys manage your risk when it comes to position sizing and managing trades that go against you. I used to typically be against stopping out of stuff, because I felt like what if I stop out of something and then the trade does go my direction? And I used to it used to irk me, when I stopped out of a trade because it went against me, but then a couple minutes later, a couple hours later, it's going in the direction I thought it was going to go in. So that's always going to be a risk, and there's ways to manage that. Like I said, instead of closing out the entire position, you could just lower your size, or you can close the entire thing out depending on how you trade. But that's something I've figured out myself, where I realized, like, maybe dollar cost averaging is not smart, increasing your size when a trade goes against you. And I want to share with you guys uh, my payout this week. I got a second payout from my funded futures for $4,075. I'm going to leave my affiliate link in the description for this video. So if you guys are interested in trying out a new prop firm, they have pretty decent specials and sales and promotions. So check them out. If you have any comments about this video, you can just let me know in the comments. But thank you guys for watching, and have a good day.